Fred,
Hey,
is that you?
Matt.
Are you ready to start this live stream?
I'm more than ready. I'm born ready.
Danny Elfman, play my music.
Hello. Sick, dude.
It's the Confederacy of Dunks Basketball Podcast.
Kyle Lowry. Welcome to the Confederacy of Dunks Basketball Podcast. I am your host, and who, sir, are you?
I am your producer, Matt Duncan, here at home in beautiful Newmarket, Ontario. I don't know why I threw to Danny Elfman for the intro. Danny Elfman is not here in my house. I just want to get that thing clear right now.
Thanks for clearing up a couple things, the Danny Elfman situation, and of course, where you are located at the present time. I'm in High Park, Toronto. This is really exciting. It's our first live podcast, and the season is we're on the cusp of a new regular season for the Raptors and for the NBA.
Yeah, and for the Confederacy of Dunks, we are starting season 8 next week. Our 8th season is beginning, Freddie. Can you stand it?
I can stand it. I'm excited. We're also part of something special. 12 days of Sonar. Matt, you wanna take it away? You wanna hit him with all the good deets?
Yeah, so we're a part of the Sonar network, which you obviously know. Thanks for checking it out. Sonar's doing the 12 days of Sonar, where like every day there's going to be a different podcast doing a live stream that are on the network. And if you're like an Advent calendar fan, this is like the same thing, but for podcasts. Like, it's sweet, it's delicious. I've got one rocking right now in the house. And you know what? I went a day ahead and ate a chaga for tomorrow, but don't tell the wife is what I'm trying to say. So I just want to say, thanks to the Sonar Network for putting this together. Guys, it's all about, subscribing to the YouTube channel, also checking out their Patreon. We made this great special for them yesterday where we, with guests Adam Christie and Arthur Simeon, we voted on the best 16th overall NBA draft pick of the 21st century. Now, I picked 16 because today is the 16th, the day that we are doing the live stream for Sonar. So check that out. You might be surprised who the winner is. Maybe you won't be. So, subscribe to the Patreon to find out who it is, dude.
Folks, never, ever doubt Matt's galaxy brain, okay? Everything is tied together. This is a universe. The guests have their music. Yep. Every soundbite is layered. Whether
Absolutely.
It's cousins in a hallway or whatever it might be. Matt, let's just hit people with the other good stuff.
Damn,
beautiful anti-itch toque, perhaps.
Yeah.
If they want to help us out or find us online, all that shit.
Yeah, you can go to the sonarnetwork.com. You're going to find us there. You're going to be able to listen to episodes there. You can also go to dunkspodcast.com. That's our website. It looks like it's built by a 13-year-old, and we're proud of it, okay? It looks like a skateboard of a teenage boy with all its stickers on the bottom, and we're proud of it.
Skateboard thing. That's a certainty for Matt these days.
We've got all our links there for Instagram, our socials. Also, I think down there, Stacy put all our links if you want to give a click there as well. And Freddie, you point out the anti-itch toques. Now, look, there's only one on the market. We've got it. We've got the patent on it. And we believe in it so much that we don't put a direct link anywhere for it. So just Google Confederacy of Dunks and Shopify. Because, we do have a Shopify account.
You got to find it blowing in the wind.
But we'll be first page Google, okay? You just do Confederacy Dunks, Shopify. It's going to come right up. Guys, we're running out. We got to do a reorder, so get them while they're hot. $20 a head top. You're not going to be scratching that head at all. At all. I promise. And yeah, so that's pretty much it, isn't it? Am I forgetting anything?
No. And just, as always, email your city councilors, Black Lives Matter, and defund the police.
Yep.
And Matt, if you feel like we're good to go, please just give me the okay.
Okay.
Well, we're set. So let's bring on. So you squinted, so I feel like something wild is gonna happen. So I'm like, okay,
it must be the wine.
It's the wine. Let's bring on guest number one. She's amazing. She's been on the pod more than anybody else. She has got an excellent basketball podcast of her own, which of course she'll plug. She's written on a bunch of stuff that This Hour is one
stand-up comedian.
Beaverton, stand-up comedian.
Extraordinaire.
Yeah, you're damn right. Give it up as loud as you can, without further ado, even if you're at home alone, for Cathryn Naiker. This is the new thing, I think. You go it's like a peace vogue.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's a sit down, peace vogue. Don't hurt your knees. Don't, crouch down too much, too hard. Once again, happy to be here. Happy to know that I'm your most available guest of all time.
It's so true. So true.
That's not what it's about, okay? It's
a title I'm proud of.
You are the absolute best guest who happens to be super available. So cheers.
Well, thanks.
You're also the biggest lover of Nick Nurse, so that's like that's a special niche, or as Americans say, niche.
Yeah, also very available for him too. Actually, I literally had a conversation today with my literary agent who was explicitly telling me how I need to not be so available, and I took it quite personally. But it was great. It was a solid learning lesson.
Does she know you're the most frequent guest on this pod? Or?
No.
Yeah, that's why.
No.
Okay, well let's keep this baby moving, and let's bring on guest number 2. He's amazing. He's done the podcast a bunch. Best real life basketball player I know. Last time I introed him, I said that he was the host of I think the Great British Bake Off. So you know what? That's not true. But he is the host of the Great Canadian Bake Off, or Great Canadian Baking Show. I'm close enough. It's not Mary Berry.
Classic Freddie plugs here.
Give it up as loud as you can, even if you're at home alone, for Alan Shane Lewis.
Oh! Yeah, did you like that prank? I pranked you with having a Bart Simpson doll in the camera.
I only saw, I went down for some water, so I just saw, but I recognize a Bart head when I see it.
Yeah.
As it was moving off screen, I'm like, I'm pretty sure either something's going down, like it's a situation, or Alan's having some Bart fun.
Alan's having some Bart fun. He was just in that room. I thought I'd bring him up here. But thank you for having me. Thank you so much. I love that music that I always get. And yeah.
Thanks for being here. This is the best. It's going to be a fun live hangout. And let's just start talking basketball. There's just so much. There's too much. Maddie, if you got a Raptor sting, something beautiful, something weird, please, good sir, give it to me.
When I say Bobby, you say Webster, Bobby.
Webster.
Bobby.
Webster.
That always slaps.
The collective pause after, I could feel everyone being like, "Oh no!" Every time I play that sting.
You know what though? I hope you appreciate it. I'm on board at this point. As soon as I heard it, and it's the voice too, Bobby. I'm like, oh, God. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm gonna, oh, Matt. But then I'm still, and also I'm feeling a little bit of Bobby Webster love. He signed a his extension, so that was good. But let me go to you first, Cathryn. Let me just throw it out there. How should Raptors feel about Giannis signing the Supermax and at least for the foreseeable future, playing for Milwaukee and not working his way to Toronto?
Honestly, I think we should feel good because first of all, I'm way happier for Milwaukee than I am sad for the Raptors. You know what I mean? Like I think it's really great for them, and I think it's good for the league. And I think now that we know, it's better than waiting till July to find out we're not getting Giannis. You know what I mean? Like I think they always had to have a plan B in case this happened, and now they have more time to act on that plan. And I think I prefer just the knowing than the waiting till July, and like who knows if we would have gotten him or not. Like it was a huge risk to begin with, and there's still really good free agents out there. Like in particular, I'm really eager on Victor Oladipo. Like I think he'd be a great fit here, and I think, on to the next.
But let me ask you this: how much were you kind of like when you're thinking about the future of the Raptors? How much did you kind of buy into being like, he's going to come, and I think this is going to be part of the Raptors' future?
So
like,
before
were you expecting it?
In the last couple months, like in the last 2-3 months, I was not feeling optimistic, although I was maybe before when there was first chatter about it. And I think that's because like we have to be extremely competitive for someone like Giannis to be like, oh, I can go to Toronto and absolutely win. And I don't know if we have that convincing of a roster right now.
That's interesting. I feel like, we have lost some veteran stuff, but I feel like, you throw Giannis in there, and I think we're.
Oh, you put Giannis on any team, they're like they've got a shot. Like, don't get me wrong, but I'm just mean like,
it would depend what we lost, obviously, but yeah, I have a couple things to say, but I want to hear Alan's opinion first before I kind of like. There's so many different Giannis like wavelengths I think to go on, but same question, Alan. How do you think Raptors fans should feel about this Giannis signing?
I don't know. I don't think it's discouraging. I think it's just Giannis went to the place he wanted to go to. But when it comes down to a Supermax, I don't know that too many instances where the Supermax actually turned out well, amicably for both teams. So I'm not worried that down the line, some type of movement can be made and we can, trade for a certain player, because I believe John Wall has a Supermax, and where is he playing? He's in Houston right now. So I think, a lot of things happen, a lot of things change. And I know that we kind of geared up our roster to kind of make room for him in 2021. But yeah, to Cathryn said, there's players like Victor Oladipo, there's Blake Griffin, there's different players and pieces that we can bring in. And I think players that could probably fit in our system a little better than Giannis. I didn't really like give it too much anything, because I was always joking about it. I was like, oh yeah, it'd be nice for him to come out here and hang out in the East End and and do his thing.
For sure.
But,
you gotta make a Danforth
was
joke.
that your Kermit the Frog? That was like your best Kermit.
Whenever I talk about
he brings
Danforth,
over Bart,
immediate like Kermit the Frog. That's just who I am. He lives in East End by Peep Station. But like I didn't care until Mark Spears made that point where he's just like, I was actually hearing that the Toronto was like the number one contender if Giannis was going to. Yeah, that part was like, well, I didn't need to know that now.
Okay, wait a second.
I didn't know that. Damn.
I didn't like that.
So hold on. You're breaking a bit of news for me and Cathryn here. So what is the should I look it up? What's the Mark Spears?
Yeah, it's just Mark Spears was talking to somebody from, I believe, one of our Canadian media in like from Yahoo Sports or something like that, and he was saying like he believed that Giannis was if there was a team that he would have left it, like Warriors chat was actually just like whatever, the Dallas Mavericks was whatever, but it was the Raptors who were like the actual in the running for like the place he would actually leave to go to. And then I heard that and I was like, well, I didn't need to know that. That's like type of information like afterwards I don't need to know. It's like, well, we're done here. Don't talk about it anymore.
That stings a bit, but I think that kind of speaks to what Cathryn was saying about being a really good team. Whether that's for Giannis or another player. Like I think where I'm at, like I'm not disappointed at all, really. I guess I've never really envisioned a situation as a Raptor fan where it's like, okay, July 1st happens. The biggest free agent in the world is flying to Toronto first. Then he's going to do this meeting. Then he's going to go to this other place. It's like, I just always feel like, I feel like the hierarchy of the NBA kind of doesn't work like that. Like we're not there. So in my opinion, it was never really going to be like, that's why I never really understood the saving money on Fred or saving money on anyone who's good, really. Like I just didn't get it because I don't think that we can be good if we're saving money when there's a good asset like Fred or like OG, I'm sure we're going to pay him a lot of money. And I think to your point, Wall has changed teams. Chris Paul has changed teams.
Russell
Harden,
Westbrook, right?
Yeah,
Didn't he get one?
Harden, TBD. I think Blake Griffin signed a Supermax and was traded, but he's changed hands. So I don't necessarily think it's final, and I feel like how wild would it be? Like, how wild would this be? They have some kind of loss, don't make the finals this year. Bud gets fired. Then it's like that's their 1 year excuse where it's just like, okay, it was all Bud's fault.
Mm-hmm.
Some new coach comes in, something else doesn't work out, whatever. Middleton has an off season. All of a sudden, Giannis is kind of like, wait a second, I'm the 4th seed. Or you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's hard for people to envision. I don't know.
I don't think it's going to play out like that, though.
Why not?
Because I think, like, if you asked me a week ago, I would have agreed with you. But I think because Giannis did sign with them and they have the same coach and they have a lot of the same guys, I'm just like, there's a reason he believes in that group. You know what I mean? I don't think he just did this to be nice. Like, I think he legitimately believes in that group, in that city. And I think he legitimately wants to be there. I really do. Like, I could see him. I don't know. Like, I could see him having his whole career there. I think he just might be that dude.
I think you're kind of stepping on something that's really as I think Giannis is just built differently. I think he's like motivated by different factors. I don't think like he sees the legacy from beyond, where he's just like, look, if I don't get this chip, then this is going to be whatever. But I do think frustration is something that can play into it, and I think there is some like especially when you gave up all those things for Drew Holiday as your second piece and not getting Bogdan Bogdanovic and just kind of fucking things up. Like, oh, whoops, am I allowed to swear?
I think so. I already swore once and nothing happened.
I forgot.
You just like, if it happens, it happens, and then hopefully there's not like the RCMP out like.
Yeah, but I think messing up that trade is another piece. And I think I just don't like that. I don't think they got better. I truly don't believe. Swearing is very okay. Also.
Swearing is very okay. Phew.
But yeah, just that Milwaukee roster. I don't think they got better. I don't think so, to be honest. And
well, I just feel like because I agree that they didn't get better and yet he still stayed.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sorry.
So I think we're touching on a couple of things here. Like Giannis being a bit different makes sense, right? His story isn't the average, superstar story. He might not, as someone who's, from Nigeria and Greece, he might not look at, he might not look at LA and New York as like a place like gotta go there, or even Miami. You know what I mean? Like he might value different things. And I think, to your point as well, Cathryn, like he's loyal and he's also confident and wants to like prove it. And I mean, I'm just going in so many places here because I was such a believer in Milwaukee being really good last year, and so many people doubted them all last year. And when Miami beat them, I feel like the majority of people were like, "Yep, I expected that," and I didn't. I was totally like, "What the hell?" I thought Milwaukee was incredible. Like, I was actually kind of surprised they didn't steamroll Miami, or it was just weird to me how it went down. Obviously, Eric Bledsoe got COVID, and Budenholzer wouldn't make adjustments, but yeah, I want to move on to Raptors stuff, but
yeah, but I agree. I thought the Bucks were going to be better for sure. I was surprised.
And this year, yeah, I think Drew Holiday is an upgrade, but we'll see. It's I think their system's a little bit more exposed. So
yeah, I think when you play with Giannis, you got to like surround him with 3-point shooters. And when you get rid of George Hill, like your top 3-point shooter, and put in Drew Holiday, who's like a decent guy, but like defensively, yeah, you have a good lockdown, but you still haven't surrounded him with 3-point shooters. You lose Wesley Matthews, you kind of lose that kind of sting or that kind of the venom with the team. So you could double team Giannis now. You can double team off the pick and roll. You can do a high one. You don't have to worry about too many of the that third option on the weak side being open. So I don't know. A lot of variables with that team right now, I feel.
All I'm saying is watch out for Dante DiVincenzo.
Getting the minutes. Getting the minutes.
Okay, let's let's just go into some Raptor stuff because Malachi Flynn looks incredible. Like I think there's all sorts of takes from the preseason, and we'll bounce around a little bit. But let me go to you first, Alan. I'm freaking out kind of. I think he looks incredible. He looks super composed, smooth from the three, good on D, a high IQ, fairly explosive. Like, I'm just not even understanding why he wasn't a really high draft pick.
Yeah. I don't know. I think he wasn't in a very sexy conference because he was doing stuff out there. Because like a 4-year player, you don't usually see that often. A 4-year player that actually wants to be there and plays. And he was like a defensive player of the year in college too as well. So a lot of that stuff translates to how ready he is right now. So he's hitting the ground running because this guy already has that kind of defensive mind motor. And he just looks very confident in himself and the ability to move around. He's playing like an extreme vet, and because he kind of is one. He played those extra couple of years out in college. But yeah, it's surprising to see that a lot of NBA teams kind of passed on him. And once again, I always say this, but trust in Messiah. I believe he has the ability to kind of see these players and see these people who just need the opportunity. That's all they need. All they need. And he always picks them up. So it's good on him for picking them up. And I'm glad he's with us. And however we use him, I think there's a lot of opportunity for him because he could be the second string point guard if we lose a Lowry or trade a Van Vliet, or we could ship him off. There's different things we can do with him, but I'd like the kid right now. I think he's very strong in these past two games. I know it's preseason, but I'm loving that kid. I think he's for sure going to be a first team rookie.
Yeah, he looks incredible. So I'm trying not to get too excited. And yeah, for sure there's lots of competition at the spot, but having a ton of talent is never a bad thing. Cathryn, what do you think about Malachi Flynn?
So
do you think his name's cool as well?
His name's great. His name's great. He doesn't even need a nickname, honestly. Like, his name is great. But historically, I've never watched a preseason game, and I'm definitely not watching one without any fans. So, like,
cheers. Okay.
I will take everyone's word for it that he's great. And like, but I will say this, and this is like controversial as a Raptors fan, but like, we kind of need him to be great, like we really need him to be really good. Like I would almost argue we need this guy to exceed expectations here because, and this is like, I don't even like saying this, but I really don't think we're keeping Kyle at the end of the season. Straight up. I think look, we all trust in Masai, but we also know Masai's a little cutthroat. I don't think he's signing a 35-year-old guy to a long-term deal or something. Like, I don't think he's going to give Kyle what he deserves, although he says like we will give Kyle his flowers and stuff. But like, I think he means like when he retires, I think he's going to let Kyle like go off somewhere else for like the last like 2 years of his career and try and get a ring somewhere else.
Cathryn, don't cast doubt. You know what I mean? What if it happens? No, it won't happen.
No, I mean, I would love to be wrong. I would love to be wrong. I would love to be wrong.
I think we gave him his flowers with that like $30 million contract. I thought that was it. Like that beefy boy contract that we gave him. I think that was definitely kind of saying, hey, we respect what you've done here, but like after this, like you better find that somewhere else. So yeah, if we do end up trading Kyle Lowry and trying to get something back, because if we let him go in the offseason, we don't really get anything back other than that freed up cap space. So I think, maybe moving into like a contender, like a Clippers or something like that, which would
anybody but the Clippers.
Absolutely
if you went to the Clippers, I might quit the NBA. Honestly, I might quit.
I have to like chop down this conversation.
Sorry.
This is just too stressful for me. Okay,
Oh,
because
Freddie, I'm sorry.
no, like with Kyle going to the Clippers, I honestly like find me in the Hummer River. You know what I mean? Like, or like,
Freddie, I'll be there right with you.
Yeah.
And also Masai, hasn't resigned, and it's
That's
okay.
right.
But those two, if somebody tells me that Masai is leaving the Raptors, like, don't give me 5 minutes. Like, just say that to me and walk off. Like, because I'm taking a long walk. I'm taking a 3-day walk. I'm just thinking about life, and hopefully at the end I become Dr. Manhattan.
I want to know how far you can get in 3 days.
If I'm like actually becoming Dr. Manhattan, super far, Mars, other places.
I think you can get to Montreal in 3 days. I want to believe that.
Oh yeah,
3 full days of walking.
It depends on how much like the wear and tear in the body. But okay, Cathryn, I guess I can't really ask you this because I was going to say what have you not liked so far about the preseason? But I think maybe the preseason in general.
Well, I mean, I don't like Terrence Davis getting minutes. I really want him off our team.
Yes.
They should put him on leave with pay, whatever, while this trial plays out. I think it's really distracting, and it's like you don't want to root for a guy that's literally on trial. Like, let him have his due, his time in court, let him argue his case, whatever. But like, I don't like it.
Yeah, it's frustrating and kind of really like sucks the pleasure out of something that's otherwise, pleasurable. And then it brings you to a space where it's kind of like you're trying to combine these two different things that have no business being combined. And yeah, I mean, we have a lot of players too. So, and I know there's the whole players union and the bargaining agreement, and you can't really, unjustly just not play somebody. But I also feel like there's not enough will or want to just make the situation right.
Yeah.
You can hide behind protocols as long as you want, but I think at a certain point it's just going to become too painful for fans and for players too, and for everyone involved and victims. Yeah, sorry not to go.
No, I went there.
Not to go too sad there, but it is. Yeah, it's been. I mean, not like is I think very, very light for what that is. It's been shitty. Alan, is there anything? I mean, I assume also you don't like that, but is there anything you?
No, yeah, I was going to say that.
otherwise?
Yeah, I was going to say that too because it feels very NFL-y where we're just kind of like trying to just put him there and like turn it back to it and be like, I hope everyone forgets, kind of those things where it's just like not a recent thing. So it's just like, oh, it's out of sight, out of mind. So that was kind of strange on that end. Because yeah, when I saw his name, I'm like, he's playing? Okay.
I know.
All right. But as far as
too.
yeah, the crucial minutes. One thing I will say I don't like I don't like our big situation. I think it's looking kind of scarce out there. Seeing like Boucher, I'm happy to see him out there and get some minutes, and same with Baines. Baines has a very soft touch and good post presence and good defensive stuff. But we still need that third one. Alex Len, I've not been a fan of Alex Len for a while now, so it's strange to see him in my team's jersey. So I'll root for him. I hope for the best for him, but he just doesn't have the mobility that we kind of need in big and the aggressiveness. And Bembry is a weird switch for what's his name, Rondé Hollis Jefferson, like those very defensive grounded, athletic kind of wing guys who can play defense, but. The difference between Bembry and Rondé, I think Rondé kind of knows who he is and doesn't try to shoot those threes, while Bembry will shoot that. And he's coming off like one of his worst shooting seasons, shooting like 6% or something like that. So there seems to be some missing gaps in our roster that I hope can be addressed as the season goes on.
Yeah, it does seem like a roster that is not finished. and is going to need some kind of complementary parts. It does seem like we have a lot of talent, but maybe guard heavy and maybe kind of like log jammed at that position. I was also thinking that it was, like I feel like Len, the longer he plays with a winner, I'm drinking a little bit of that Kool-Aid of the like Raptors kind of saying like, we're this amazing development place, we can turn him into something. But I will say it definitely seems like a makeshift big scenario. Like it's not like every night we are gonna, or most nights we're gonna be going up a big that's better than our bigs.
Yeah.
And I also think it's gonna force Pascal and OG to kind of play big more, which could be cool. But yeah, I think the way the roster's put together is going to determine a lot of that.
Yeah, I hope Len does well, because like you don't get picked fifth for no reason. Like there's something, you've shown some type of glimmer and hope to become something. It's just that he hasn't become it. So yeah, if he has the ability to become what I think Phoenix drafted him become. So if hopefully the Phoenix staff wasn't completely wrong. So yeah.
I'm just gonna let you finish pouring your water there.
Oh, sorry. I was like, oh god, how loud is that? Listen, I'm thirsty. I don't know what to do. No, our highest draft.
All right, I kind of want to jump in here with what Alan was saying, because while you both get your little water breaks in, because this is what I meant earlier, like off the top when we were talking about Giannis and just how I'm not sure if we're a competitive enough team to like ultimately attract him, because I think losing Serge was a really big mistake. And it was on us. Like he wanted to stay and Masai lowballed him. And I think it's like the biggest mistake he's made since like the Damari Carroll signing. Like, and I say biggest mistake, like this isn't a man that's made a lot of mistakes, but I think,
but yeah, totally.
But this was a mistake in my opinion. Like, I think we really needed him. And I think losing him to the Clippers really sucked.
I totally agree. I don't know what happened there. The relationships seem amazing. Serge is like such a part of our team, our culture.
Masai didn't give him a good offer.
Yeah. No. Oh yeah. I guess. Sorry. That's the deal. And yeah, that sucks, because I feel like Serge was always worth more than his contract, even when people said his contract was bloated when he first signed it. But like beyond his skills, it's just, he's such a valuable like part of the team and our toughness. And I think you get a guy like him, and then you also hopefully get a guy like Baines. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, and I feel, it does feel like we're a little bit bare. But I just want to say that I think it's funny that Stanley Johnson and Alex Len are the highest draft picks on the team. Sorry. I feel like that's just so perfect for the Raptors. Like our highest draft picks are like these kind of like projects washed ashore, and all of our best players are just like deep cuts for the most part.
Almost do better with low. Like we have to have a draft pick that's 20 or below. Like we can't have a top pick. Like we mess it up.
Although Masai's highest pick is
Bargnani burn.
Oh yeah, Bargnani. But Masai's highest pick is Pirtle.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I know. He's like, because like Pascal in the 20s. I mean, we could go through them. They're all super low because we've been good.
Damn.
Okay, you want to talk some NBA ball or what?
Yeah.
Yes'ems.
Maddie, I assume you're there somewhere. I hope everything's okay. But please, sir, give me your most ghostly Adam Silver sting.
This is Adam Silver.
That was big.
A freaking boat horn?
Wow. Matt came in with a lot.
If Adam Silver doesn't arrive on a boat, like he's not traveling right,
Oh, totally. And that boat is gonna have it's gotta be like a big steamboat, but it's gotta be like fun and lighthearted.
Yeah, it's like one of those like anthropomorphic boats that are like kind of alive, got like the eyes in the front, you know?
Alan, you are coming
Right.
from where I'm coming
They
from.
should
man.
change the draft ding to that.
Yeah.
Okay, but funny you should
Yeah.
mention the
Next team's
draft
on the board.
Matt, I think this is a good time. If I've been a bit
The
distracted, I
chime. That's what I wanted to
apologize.
say.
I've been doing an NBA draft for the first part of this podcast. I completed my team. I wanted to run some of the players by you. How does that sound? Can I tell you guys who I drafted?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, Matt. I know you got something special, so please. A little bit quiet, but also like Harry. I always feel like that's Harry Potter. Sorry.
It sounds like it was sampled from Home Alone. That's what I always think of when I hear it.
Yeah, he turns the doorknob.
Yeah.
Marv, the drafted players in there. Run. I don't know
The can
which
of paint
character
hits
that
you in
was.
the face.
Okay. Are you ready for this team?
Poof.
A Steph Curry,
It's good.
Eric Bledsoe,
Mm.
Dennis Schroeder,
Mm.
Paul George,
Hmm.
Jeremy Grant,
Mhm.
Blake Griffin. Shit, my team sucks. Nikolai Vucevic, JV, Marvin Bagley, Kevin Herter, Jakob Pertl, Kevin Porter Jr. Honestly, that's what happens when you are
That's an
doing a
Eastern
podcast and
Conference
drafting.
playoff team and a Western Conference not in the playoffs team. Hot take alert. Sorry.
Say that one more time.
Hey.
So that's a playoff team in the Eastern Conference, but not in the West.
Hey, you know what? I can work with that.
Yeah, there you go.
If I can get my team to the playoff, like if I get my team to the play-in game or whatever, which should be fun. Okay, let's move on from my really. I was excited to talk about my team, but now I just want to move on because
Here's the thing. I had Kevin Herter last year too, and it was in a situation where he wasn't getting a lot of threes. But I think maybe this year with the spacing, you have Bogdan, you have Gallo, the ball might flow a little better. So
I know. I think Atlanta's packed.
yeah,
Like I feel like I don't know if he's gonna get the.
you need at least one or two for him, and he might be able to do that for you.
Okay, all right. You two are lifting me up. This is good. This is good. I am gonna search the waiver wire after the podcast, try and figure some shit out. But yeah, okay. So a little bit back to the Giannis signing, but this I want to take the angle of the Supermax contract in general. So let me go to you first, Alan. Like, I'm asking, do you think this saves the Supermax? But what I'm also really asking is, like, do you think this does anything substantial to restore, like, the balance of power in the NBA, or the idea that a small market can be competitive and retain, two-time MVP? And, they don't have to be from LA or Miami or New York or Boston or whatever.
Well, the Supermax worked personally against me, so I don't really am not happy for it right now. So I don't know how to praise it objectively. But yeah, it's nice to see that a small market can retain the player that their grassroots kind of talent that they drafted into the league. So it's cool to see kind of in that. But I don't know too many Supermax contracts that ended up well that like down the line. I think it always becomes a very clunky thing when it comes to year 3, 4, 5, and it's hard to kind of move those players. So you're kind of stuck with them, and you're usually stuck with a very unhappy player who you can't move because once again their contract's like $40 million a year. So I don't know. I just want the rest of the contracts to kind of come up to as well, so we can have those kind of flexibility and those opportunities for trades going forward. Because I think Steph Curry has one, right?
Yeah, so it's funny you should mention Steph Curry because, like, I think I was looking through the list of of the guys who have this. And I feel like, you know, a lot of people have max contracts. And if anyone listening is confused between the idea of like a super max, it's basically extra money that, you know, in the last player agreement, they were kind of, you know, trying to incentivize keeping these mega stars by giving them the most money possible. And an extra year. And Curry is on it. Lillard is on one. And now Giannis is on one. But to your point, Alan, a lot of these guys, well, no, a bunch of guys are on it, but a bunch of them have moved already, right? So you got Russ
those are the guys that have stayed. Sorry.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, sorry. So you got Russ with OKC. He's gone. Wall is now in Houston. I'm confused. I think Blake Griffin signed one.
Blake Griffin. See, the weird thing about like trying to incentivize
he was traded. Sorry,
that extra like couple $1 million. It's like we don't live in the NBA of 1975 or 1980 or even the 90s. These players can make money other places. They can get the shoe endorsements. They have social media, so they're not too worried about where their bread is coming from. They just want to play where they want to play. So it kind of gives power to the players in that sense of it. But you saw players like Harden walk away from that extra $50 million. So it's like they're not necessarily motivated by that money. They're more motivated of being in a position where they can play basketball where they want to play.
Just some fun stuff popping up. Chris Wilson, hilarious Chris Wilson, of a bunch of things. Peter and Chris, Second City. My buddy, he is also on the Sonar network, and he is wanting me to check in and make a trade with him. I can't do it right now. I'm on the pod, Chris. Although my team is so bad that I really got to get in there, I feel like. But I also have to stay focused. Giannis, Cathryn, where are you at on like kind of like I don't know, the state of the Supermax, the state of the top MVP level player staying with the franchise that drafted them? Do you think like,
well, like
this is a symbol of like, you can do it right? Like, you know, if New Orleans built a better situation, Davis, you know, wouldn't have demanded to go to LA.
Oh my God.
Okay, you know,
it's not even
you know, Steph Curry for Trey Halliburton. I'm in, actually.
Isn't it Tyrese Halliburton?
Is it Tyrese? You know what? That's how.
Yeah, I was like,
discombobulated I am. Sorry,
you're gonna make that trade?
No, definitely.
Oh,
not.
I was gonna. Okay,
Steph Curry's gonna.
Like what? Okay, so sorry. Getting back to this, I think. Look, like if the Bucks win a championship, then yes, you know what I mean. Then it's all worth it, and I think that saves the Supermax, as you put it. But like, if Steph Curry is the only player that signs a Supermax and then wins a championship with that city, then I do think it'll be looked at as not successful overall. You know what I mean? But like if Portland somehow can win, and if the Bucks win, you know, before these guys retire, like I don't know, then yeah, I think then it's proven to work, because then that's 3 teams that won championships with Supermax contracts in smaller markets. Like Golden State became a bigger market after they won, right? Like they were considered a smaller market until they started winning and got gentrified and moved to San Francisco, right? But they were a smaller market before. So I mean, it can work. And like,
no, you do have to burst through. It's true. Like Dallas was like, you know, the sleeping giant before they won with Nowitzki. And there is this idea of a team that, like, you know, once you do erupt. But let me just ask you this, Cathryn. If Lillard retires a Blazer and they never win a championship, do you think that like, well, then that contract is like this idea of like, it doesn't even matter? Like if the player's not good enough to win a championship, then
well,
why?
I think he's good enough to win a championship. It's, you know, it's the talent you have around him, but also just luck. Like Portland's just had terrible injury luck for like a decade, you know, and that's not Lillard's fault. I think Lillard, okay, like I don't know the entire history of the Portland Trailblazers, but you got to imagine he's the greatest player in their franchise history, or at least top 2 or something. Like who did they have when they won? Like I don't.
Well, funny you should say.
Back in like 1970 something, right?
Bill Walton.
Bill Walton.
Me and
Like,
Alan
I
did
don't
a
know.
whole
Like,
podcast on this.
oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, it's Carmelo Anthony is the right answer, which I learned because he's the most famous Blazer.
Kiki Vanderway. I think that was somebody. Or no, I don't remember.
Clyde Drexler is up there.
I
No,
mean,
but
for all I know, that was like a member of Sly and the Family Stone. Like, I don't know. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Sounds like a famous person of that era. But yeah, I mean, I think he's a local legend, and I think, you know, for certain teams, like, it's worth it to have that. Like, look, like the Raptors are gonna make money off of vintage Lowry jerseys forever, and that's worth it, you know. Like, I think with a city like Portland, same thing, and they don't even have as many professional league teams.
I think that's the only one.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, even if they don't win, but let's say they have a year where they actually like make it to the finals, like that's still like a really big deal for that market and a big deal for Lillard, future Hall of Famer. You know, you rolled the dice, you went for it. What else are you gonna do?
Okay, last question. Sticking with you, Cathryn. I mean, I know you don't watch preseason. I've been watching a lot of basketball because I'm very happy that it's back.
Nerd.
Whoa, did I say a nerd? Did I say a nerd, Echo? I am a nerd.
You get bullied on your own podcast.
You're a dead man. But all jokes aside, no, I lost my train of thought. Nerd alert. Okay, cool. The graphics help me out. No, okay. What's more exciting than Kevin Durant, Cathryn? Just being back.
Honestly,
general.
not much.
He looks good.
I mean, this season, look, like, I'm not really looking forward to the season. I think I watched like 2 minutes of a preseason game and was like, this looks and sounds terrible. Like, if I was a casual fan, I would definitely be out for the year. Like, if I hadn't started my own podcast, like, I really don't know what the NBA is doing to like keep me engaged right now. Like, these games do not look good. They don't sound good. Like, there's not much to look forward to this year. I think seeing Kevin Durant and seeing the dumpster fire that is the Brooklyn Nets is probably going to be the most exciting part of the regular season, hands down.
Wow. Okay, Cathryn, you are coming in swinging.
I know.
I am absolutely loving it. I'm going all over the place on Brooklyn. I'm like, there's a part of me that's like total disaster coming up. Another part of me that's like, wait a second, they have a lot of good players. And there's another part of me that's like, oh, Kyrie, KD, did you see the Instagram? And then there's another part of me that's like, but Steve Nash, D'Antoni, what's going on? So,
Okay,
and KD looked good. Like, I think that's what, you know, let's all cross our fingers. I've said before on the podcast that I'm just worried and I doubt that he'll be able to be an all NBA level player from the standpoint of just like how good you have to be on defense, how explosive you have to be in general. Like, I think the shooting will be there for sure, but I guess I'm expecting, a bit more of like an older Dirk. And I think maybe it might still be a lot closer to KD. But Cathryn, I feel like you wanted to.
Oh, I just have a quick theory about how I think the Brooklyn Nets season is gonna go. Of course, I could be wrong. I'm not a fortune teller, but
you are.
I'll go for it. I'll go for it.
Know. She is a professional fortune
I just
teller.
pull out all these crystals. Anyway, I think the Brooklyn Nets are gonna have a really good regular season, and I think they're gonna win games that they have no business being in just based off of talent alone. And I think they're not going to load manage. I think Kevin Durant's going to look great. I think there's going to be a lot of MVP talk around Kevin Durant. I don't know if he'll win it, but I think he'll get a lot of hype. And then when the playoffs happen, that's when you're going to start to see the communication breakdowns happen. You're going to see a lot of ISO ball, a lot of hero ball in close situations. And I don't know if they get past the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's how I think it's all going to go down.
Wow.
I think I'm, fairly into that. Like, I think they're definitely going to have some struggles and continuity issues. But it's exciting. I think it's going to be must-watch TV.
They're going to be
Alan,
interesting no matter what.
Yeah.
Do you think? Is there anything more exciting?
I think it's really fantastic that Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are playing together because they can both discuss at practice how much they obsess about being in LeBron's shadow. This is going to be so much fun to watch those two. Like, here's the thing: there's no secret that I'm not a Kevin Durant fan. I'm not one at all. I don't like him. I don't wish him well most times. But I'm happy to watch him play basketball because he's very talented. He is. In my own podcast we talked about, I put him as second in the NBA as far as talent goes. I think that's great. But I'm not sold on the Brooklyn Nets like everyone else is. Like, everyone's like, oh, this team. Like, when they blow out the Westbrookless and Bradley Beal-less Wizards with like the worst rated defense in the NBA from last season, or like one of the worst. Like, that's nothing. It's why are we freaking out right now?
You can light up Bertans.
Yeah, Bertans wasn't even playing. It was Hachimura who was guarding him.
Hey, if you can light up Hachimura, Vegas should have basically
right the Vegas odds on that. I agree with Cathryn like wholeheartedly about like the expectations of what they're going to do. I think it's going to be very flashy season. I think it's going to. I've called them Clippers East because I think it's exactly what we're going to see. We're going to see a lot of just like kind of cool movement in the regular season. Is going to be fun here and there. There's going to be a lot of like Kyrie and KD going at each other. There's going to be a lot of chitter chatter back and forth. But once again, I don't see them going further than a second round exit. Like, that's exactly where they're headed to be. Probably fifth or fourth in the Eastern Conference, which, to be honest, if you're fourth or fifth in the Eastern Conference, you're not that good of a team. Like, I know the Heat made it to the NBA Finals, but I feel like a lot of that came through circumstances and playing within a bubble, and that's why they kind of got there. But I'm just not sold on this team. Once you move down from those two players, what else do you have? What, like, we're talking Karis LeVert's minutes are going to get pushed back. You have Dinwiddie in a weird position now too as well. And I do love the bigs. I do got to give it up for Jared Allen and DeAndre Jordan. That's fun to see those two out there. But beyond that, I'm not sold on that team. I feel like they're missing a piece. They're missing another piece. They're missing that third kind of individual who can like give those, like a Lou Williams or something like that, which would be perfect because, once again, Clippers East, So it's exciting basketball to watch Kevin Durant kind of do his thing, but once again, I don't wish the Brooklyn Nets any good fortune at all.
Well, Joe Harris and Timothy Luwawu-Cabarrot are absolutely furious at you right now.
Let them be. I want them to be.
Torian Prince and Jeff Green, they're like, we're all so mad. And I can't think of any more role players for the Brooklyn Nets. Vaughn? Jacques? No, that was the coach. Cheers. Okay.
Yeah,
you know what?
They should have given an opportunity to.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have. That was weird.
I'm going to say this. I think it is going to be must-watch TV. A non-Raptors thing I'm pretty excited for is it's just a couple preseasons, but I'm kind of excited to see like guns a-blazing Steph Curry back in the league.
Yeah.
I enjoy watching him, and I think,
another one of Alan's nemesis, I feel.
I know.
My Steph Curry kind of thing. I like Steph Curry. I just don't like the way people boost him to like this exalted, like one of the top 10 players in the NBA or of all time. I'm like, he's the best shooter of all time. Full stop.
I'm hitting all Alan's sensitive spots. As soon as I said that Steph Curry thing, it's the same reaction when I told you my fantasy team. I could see it in your eyes.
I should not play poker.
Disappointed.
I should not play poker. Everything's right here without me saying a word.
But it's love too, because it's not forceful judgment. It's like no, yeah, it's good you drafted JV and Vucevic.
No, JV's a good pickup though. He's gonna get you some double doubles.
Okay, I'm starting to come to earth a bit here. But we've made it to quickish questions. You want to do some?
Wait. Can I say what I'm looking forward to that's not Raptors related?
Please, sir. Who is this? No, I'm just kidding.
Do you have a sting for that?
I should.
Oh, wow.
I should, because it's a bit petty. But you know what, Marc Gasol and Serge Ibaka, they walked off the team and left us. They thought that they couldn't give us what they needed, or they were gonna do better somewhere else. And the one thing that I'll take a bit of joy in is that I can't guarantee that the Raptors are going to win or lose, but I can guarantee that both those guys will not be sipping champagne at the end of the year.
Oh, I think one of them will be.
Possibly one, but not both. One of
Yeah.
them's going to go, damn, I should have stayed with the Raps.
Yeah.
Looking at you, Serge.
Matt. Wow. Okay, Matt. Oh my God, that was awesome.
And as
Okay.
fast as he showed it.
We need to do this more just so Matt can do that Luke Skywalker thing you just did. That was cool. It's like, is Luke Skywalker battling the Force? No, he's dead. What is it? Sorry. Okay, let's do some goddamn quickish questions. Maddie, I know you're there, even if it's like in a ghostly way. Please, sir, give me that quickish questions sting.
Quickish questions.
Now I don't know if you could hear the water pour, but I feel like I really timed it out with the song. Woo! We're pros around here. This is quickish questions. You all know it well. I'm gonna stutter. I'm gonna slur. I'm gonna misread a comma. I might have a stroke mid-sentence. I'll get confused. Maybe I'm near a window. Something could happen there. And that's fine. You have to answer as quick as humanly possible, as directly as you can. You can't phone a friend. Can't waste any time. Matt, you sometimes find a way to stall. That's absolutely unacceptable.
I think it's a skill.
It's a skill, but no filibustering here. We want quick answers. Are we all ready? Good. Bit of a soft intro. Sorry there. Okay, we're gonna go Cathryn, Alan, Matt. Cathryn, does Malachi Flynn make all rookie this year?
Yes.
Alan, what are we gonna do with all that cap space now?
Team hot tubs, baby.
Team hot tubs? They don't already have hot tubs?
More.
Matt,
More.
Matt, which
Hot tub.
Raptor
Yep.
will dominate in a spelling bee?
Ooh, in a spelling bee? I'm gonna go with Matt Thomas. I feel like he would he'd be really good at that.
Okay. Cathryn, where should Malachi have his first Toronto dinner?
God, not Cactus Club.
Oh, that place is a nightmare.
Bad memories.
I don't think they would let him in.
God.
They do their little too dark. Sorry.
He kind of said this thing about liking rotis, so he should the best one downtown that I'm aware of is called Randy's Roti. It's on Young by Davenport, and they have the best doubles. Actually, they have the best doubles.
Really?
In downtown, because they're not easy to get here.
I'm a Pam's Roti guy, so.
Oh, yes, you are.
Where's that?
Dufferin Bloor. You know what? It's
Oh,
a city
okay,
filled
so
with
different
Roti,
neighborhood.
so.
Alley's
I don't
Roti
imagine
shop.
Malachi is settling into the Dufferin and Bloor neighborhood.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure he'll go there because the library he likes architecture.
Okay, sure. There's
He'll
a,
be like,
there's
"This
a
is New
Popeyes
Toronto,
nearby,
Toronto."
the Walmart's there.
Yeah,
True.
the Walmart pilgrimage. That's always
Yeah.
good. Okay, Alan.
Yo.
Where do you think Space Jam? Where do you think will Space Jam, a new legacy video game, end up in the greatest video games of all time list?
Ooh, right in front of NBA or the street ball game, but above NBA Jam.
Whoa.
That makes
Okay.
sense. Did I make sense with that? I don't think I did. In between those two.
I would think.
No, it made some sense. And I'm just gonna throw just for the fun of it. The first thing that comes to my head, I'm gonna make this an all play, because that's it for the questions. But I want to just do one fun all play. let's see. The Raptors are in Tampa Bay. We already did gifts to Tampa Bay. What about this? If the Raptors somehow win it all in Tampa Bay, like win the championship, what do you think, Matt, starting with you, in one word, the description of the season would be? Actually, okay, scrap the one word. That's a bit much. Give me a one-sentence description of the Raptors winning in Tampa.
A dolphin riding into the sunset.
Okay. Cathryn?
Oh, we're all answering this?
Yeah. We're all answering my stupid question for some reason. Cathryn's just not having it. You know?
I mean, my one word, honestly, sorry, Freddie. My one word would have just been like, whoa, because nobody would see that.
Okay, you know what? This question's it's back to being good. It's been a fun ride. Alan? It's the answer's choice, really, at this point.
I think a headline says lightning strikes twice in Tampa Bay.
Wow.
Wow. Okay, that's it. That's why you fish through your brain and you ask a dumb question.
Love going third. Gives me all the time to think.
Guys, that's it for the pod. That's it for our first live pod. Thank you.
Woo!
Woo!
Thanks, Sonar. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Cathryn. Thank you,
Yeah.
Alan. Yeah, check the links, subscribe, all share, rate us, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Cathryn, what's up? Can you plug your awesome pod for these amazing people?
Yeah, I have a podcast called the Buckets and Tea NBA Show. We're now live on the Barn Burner Network, and we're live every Friday night at 9. And the podcast goes up every Monday, and you can subscribe on Spotify or Apple or wherever you get your podcasts. Oh,
yeah.
and I guess my social, I don't know. You can follow me on Twitter or Instagram at itsme_Cathryn, Cathryn.
Love it.
Yeah.
Alan, what's up?
You could find me on Twitter at the Alan Shane, and then on Instagram at Alan Shane. I didn't get sync those two up. I should have. I didn't think about it. But also, somebody has either one on both platforms. So I'm like, I give up.
You're both struggling to sync up.
Yeah.
Alan, since you've been on your new show, can you say you've tried the best cake you've ever had yet?
I've had some of the best baked goods that I've flavors that I didn't think were possible out there. So I will say that. But I didn't get to taste everything because of COVID. But I tasted some good sweeties.
Nice.
Also, I got my own basketball pod, which we've had Freddie and Cathryn on. It's called Below the Hardwood. You can find it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So check it out. We have some fun stuff there too.
Hell yeah. Basketball all around. Good sweets all around. Matt, if you feel like we're good to go, please just give me the okay.
I think we're okay.
I mean, I still see we're live, so there's
Also, Matt, whatever webcam you're using, amazing. Crisp.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah, I've got the HD. I bought it a while ago for when we were actually trying to do live streaming years ago. So I was like, well, why don't I just plug this sucker in and crisp up a little bit, because thanks for noticing. What is this webcam?
Yeah, what happened?
It's just a Logitech thing, HD 1080p type of deal. Got it off of Amazon, and it's just great because you can really take it for a spin. Oh, geez, Merry Christmas, everybody!
Wow.
Those lights look like they're up there year round. I gotta say.
I feel like we're lost in Matt's fun house now.
I approve the.
Okay, yeah. Thanks, Chris. Just a quick, Chris Wilson, just shouting out the proper pronunciation of Tyrese Halliburton. Wait, is that still the wrong one? Okay,
no, that's the right one now.
Okay, that's God.
that he finally got. He just embarrassed himself in front of National Podcast Network. Come on now.
I know. That's I have a feeling like all these podcasters are gonna like kick this shit out of me tonight.
Did we thank Stacy? Stacy, you've done a great job of producing this
thank
live
you.
stream. Stacy McGonigal. Check out her
Marianne,
podcast
Michael.
regulars. It's hilarious. Still laughing about an episode where Jason's mic was all messed up. You gotta listen to it. He sounds insane.
That's very nice. Thank you so much. You're all the best. I've learned so much tonight.
Thanks, Stacy. Well, hey, we're happy to educate. That just sounds weird. Thanks for listening.
Oh, doing Roadcaster Pros. I like it.
It's a treat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for anyone who tuned in live, thank you.
Yeah. Thanks,
Appreciate it.
everybody.